Drive down any American suburb in 2026. Count the trucks, lifted F-150s, Stormtrooper white Tahoes, matching his and hers Range Rovers worth more than a starter home, manicured lawns, a boat peeking out of the third garage bay, and you think, man, everyone on this street is crushing it. They're not. A lot of them are one missed bonus away from a hardship withdrawal and a very quiet conversation with their financial advisor. I'm Thomas. The average new car payment in America just hit $772 a month. 1 in 5 new car buyers is locked into 1,000 plus monthly payments, and 36% of Americans earning $200K a year still live paycheck to paycheck. This isn't a story about rich people or poor people, it's a story about how almost everyone you know is faking it. And the tells are everywhere if you know where to look. Sign 1, the multi-truck driveway, not one new truck, multiple, his and hers. A loaded Silverado and a Tahoe, a Raptor and a Navigator. That's not a driveway. That's a repossession lot with better landscaping. Here's the math nobody wants to do. Full-size pickup, $66,000 average. Finance 2 at today's rates over 72 months, $1,900 a month. Add insurance on 2 new loaded trucks, another $400. Add gas, maintenance, $2,500 a month to exist inside those 2 metal boxes on a $120K household income. That's 35% of take-home pay going to vehicles that sit in a driveway 18 hours a day. The old rule says transportation should be 10% of gross. These folks are running at 3 times that. Sign 2, the trade-in treadmill. Neighbor gets a new truck, cool. 2 years later, another one. You think, wow, they must be crushing it. Here's what's actually happening. Over 20% of new car loans in 2025 were 84 months long, 7 years. The average trade-in carries $7,200 of negative equity. When your neighbor rolls into a new truck every 2 years, he's not upgrading. He's taking the $7K he still owes on the old truck, rolling it into the new loan, and starting from negative. That's a $1,000 payment for a vehicle he'll still owe money on when his toddler gets a learner's permit. He doesn't feel the loss. He just feels the upgrade. The pain gets spread over 84 months, so thin nobody ever tastes it. It's the credit equivalent of boiling a frog. Sign 3. The cheapest house on the fanciest street. Stanley's research on American millionaires found that about 30% of households living in 300K plus homes earn $60K a year or less. They stretch to buy into the zip code. Once you're living on that street, the street owns you. Everyone has a landscaper, so you need one. Everyone's kids do travel hockey. Now yours do too. Everyone leases new, so you lease new. The neighborhood is a spending prescription, and you sign the pickup slip the day you close. Sign 4. The empty McMansion. You get invited over, vaulted ceilings, quartz waterfall island, 2-story foyer, beautiful. Then you walk past the formal dining room and notice there's absolutely nothing in it. Just a Nest thermostat and the kind of echo you get inside a Lowe's. The median new home has ballooned from 1,500 square feet in the 1970s to over 2,200 today. But nobody budgeted for furniture. The den has a card table. The bonus room has a single stationary bike and a yoga mat that hasn't been unrolled since February. They didn't buy a home. They bought a frame. Sign 5. The equity transfusion. 2 years ago, they ripped out the kitchen. Last summer, they redid the primary bath. This spring, they're starting on the basement, not because they're renovation enthusiasts, because the HELOC keeps writing checks. Home equity line originations grew almost 16% year over year in 2025. 39% of HELOC funds went to debt consolidation, not renovation. Translation: people are draining the equity in their house to pay off credit cards and telling the neighbors they're redoing the basement. That's not remodeling. That's a blood transfusion from your house to Capital One. And the house is the one getting weaker. Sign 6. The Amazon blizzard and the DoorDash tax. You're outside getting your mail and the Amazon truck pulls up. 3 boxes, 3 hours later, another truck. 2 more boxes. Then DoorDash, then Uber Eats, then DoorDash again. That's not a house. That's a FedEx regional hub with a mailing address. Food delivery apps mark up prices by 25%. Add delivery fee, service fee, tip. A $40 meal becomes $70. Do that 4 nights a week. $15,000 a year on the act of not cooking. You could buy a Honda Civic every year and just give it away, and it would still be cheaper. And DoorDash now partners with Klarna. You can finance a burrito in 4 installments. When the country reaches the point where people take out microloans for takeout, that's not a personal problem anymore. That's a civilizational one. Sign 7. The Travel Sports Industrial Complex, Elite Soccer Club, Travel Baseball, Private Hockey Trainer, Piano on Tuesdays, Coding Camp in Summer. And on every car, a sticker, Proud Hockey Dad. Youth sports spending has risen 46% in 5 years. Travel Baseball runs $3.5K. AAA hockey and elite club soccer hit $15K a year per kid. Only 2% of high school athletes ever receive any college scholarship, and most of those are partial. But parents treat the travel sports bill like a 529 plan. They skip the Roth IRA, pause the 401k, put 3 hotel weekends on a credit card because this is the year Connor gets scouted. Connor is 9. Connor has a slapshot, not a signing bonus. Connor needs a college fund, not another hotel stay in Pensacola. And private school for 2 kids, $30–80K a year after tax dollars. That's not education. That's a status purchase with a classroom attached. Sign 8. The subscription iceberg. Ask the average American what they spend on subscriptions. They'll guess $86 a month. Check the actual statements, $219 a month. A 3-to-1 gap. 42% are paying for at least one service they've actively forgotten about. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Peacock, Paramount, Max, Apple TV, YouTube Premium, Spotify. Plus a Peloton membership for a bike being used as a coat rack, a meal kit that delivers whether you want it or not, a wine club, a bark box, a subscription razor, a gym you haven't walked into since January. That's roughly $2,600 a year bleeding out in background charges, most of which provide zero pleasure. It's not the big purchases killing them, it's the small ones that came with a free trial and a very convenient set and forget button.
Sign 9. The produce loan. BNPL, buy now, pay later. Used to be for impulse buys, a $30 Shane dress, a weird gadget at checkout. Now 29% of BNPL users have financed groceries. For Gen Z, it's 38%. 47% of BNPL users paid late last year. 54% said outright they couldn't make ends meet without it. If your neighbor's Target cart gets checked out in 4 payments of $40, you are watching financial distress happen in real time. The apple you financed on Tuesday was eaten on Wednesday. If you have to split the cost of produce into installments, your cash flow isn't tight, it's hemorrhaging.
Sign 10. The full garage and the driveway tell. Walk past your neighbor's house and notice where the expensive cars live. If the $60,000 truck is parked in the driveway and the garage is shut tight, there's a reason the garage is full, not of cars, of stuff. 2 Pelotons, a kayak that's never touched water, 4 rolling toolboxes of Snap-on gear, a home gym from the pandemic, 3 storage totes of Amazon, returns nobody got around to mailing back. The truck they financed for $66K sits in the weather to protect $10,000 of Costco impulse buys that seemed like a good idea at the time. That's not an organizational problem. That's a confession. They value the stuff more than the asset they're financing to show off in the driveway. Sign 11. The depreciating toy fleet, the boat, the RV, the side-by-side, the jet skis, the trailer to pull the side-by-sides. A new base boat runs $80 to $130K, a Class A motorhome $150K. Boats depreciate 20 to 30% in 5 years. RVs drop 20% in year 1 alone. Boat loans now run 15 to 20 years, longer than most marriages. A neighbor with a $130K wakeboat financed at 8% over 15 years is paying roughly $1,200 a month for something he uses 14 days a year. That's $85 a day on the water, before fuel, storage, launch fees. He's eating stufas on a Tuesday night so a boat can sit in a storage lot, earning $0 an hour and losing value by the minute. That's not a hobby. That's a financial hostage situation with a cup holder. Sign 12. The highlight reel. Their feed is immaculate. Tulum in January, Aspen in February. Something tropical every spring break. Designer haul videos, day in my life, reels set to acoustic guitar. Every caption hints at a life that's smooth, successful, and full. The data calls this money dysmorphia, a distorted view of your own finances driven by comparing your real bank account to everyone else's curated feed. 43% of Gen Z and 41% of millennials report it. 59% of people experiencing money dysmorphia still describe themselves as financially stable. They're not lying on Instagram, they're lying to themselves first. The beach is real. The caption is real. The credit card statement behind it all. Buried where nobody scrolls, including them. Sign 13, the loudness test. The secretly broke neighbor brings up money constantly, unprompted, tells you what they paid for the truck, mentions the bonus, slides their salary into a conversation about the weather. They're obsessed with hacks, credit card points, cashback strategies, referral bonuses. Their crypto's about to moon. Their buddy at work is in options, absolutely printing. The largest study of American millionaires ever conducted asked 10,000 of them about their wealth. 0 cited single stock picking. 75% credited consistent boring index investing. Roughly the same percentage said they've never carried a credit card balance in their lives. Wealthy people are almost universally boring about money. They don't talk about it. There is a loudness tax on financial insecurity, and the person narrating their success at the block party is usually paying it in full. Notice something about every single sign in this video. Not one of them is about income. Not one asks how much your neighbor earns. Because income isn't the variable, behavior is. You can be broke at 50K and broke at 500K using the exact same playbook. The Range Rover just gets heavier. The hardship withdrawal just gets bigger. The story stays identical. Only the zeros move. 1/3 of American millionaires have never earned $100,000 in a single year. About 3/4 have never carried a credit card balance in their lives. They look from the outside like your most boring neighbor, because they almost always are. Your quietest neighbor, the one with the 2014 Highlander, faded paint, the jacket he's had since Obama's first term, that's probably the millionaire on your block. And the guy with the matching trucks, the wakeboat, the HELOC renovation, and the family Christmas photo in front of a professionally decorated tree. He just took a $6,000 hardship withdrawal to cover December. He posted about a ski trip that same week. Wealth is what you don't see. Debt is what you do. And the loudest driveway on the block almost always belongs to the person you should be worrying about the least, because they're already worrying enough for both of you. Wealth is what you don't see. Debt is what you do. And the loudest driveway on the block almost always belongs to the person you should be worrying about the least, because they're already worrying enough for both of you. I'm Thomas. Take a walk around your block this week and ask yourself, who's actually okay and who's just performing?